My name is Jim Carey. I'm 35 years old. I've lived in Uptown in Chicago. I've lived here for about 5 years with my partner Kevin. I got my graduate degree at University of Illinois at Chicago. I have my master's in public health, and I work at an organization called the Midwest AIDS Training and Education Center, which is located at UIC. I'm a training specialist, so what I do is I provide clinical training and education for healthcare professionals regarding HIV, things like HIV testing, cultural competence. I teach cultural competence with the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning communities, and a few other trainings as well regarding HIV prevention. We're actually a federally funded center. We receive funding from the Health Resource and Service Administration to train healthcare professionals, namely physicians, physician assistants, nurses, advanced practice nurses, pharmacists, and dental professionals. So we're actually training the healthcare providers on how to be providing the top-of-line care for people that are infected with HIV. About 6 years ago, in 2005, I was diagnosed as HIV positive, and that kind of drove me to give back to my community, and I had a very negative experience with my diagnosis, and I want to make sure that nobody else ever had that same experience receiving an HIV positive diagnosis themselves. My number one love is painting. I've always loved painting. I've done it in high school. I've never been formally trained as a painter, but it's always been something I've enjoyed expressing myself through. The collection I've been working on that's going to be featured in my show is actually a series that I believe captures the emotional experience of what it's like to live with HIV every day. So my entire collection revolves around being HIV positive. A lot of it for me was kind of art therapy. I did go to a counselor and things like that for some adjustment sessions and things, but I found that painting was probably far more beneficial for me emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I enjoy seeing all the pieces together in one space because it allows me to revisit where I was emotionally when I created each of them. My art does have a touch of darkness in it, but I also think that it instills hope. And that's kind of my intention of creating it, is that by sharing my diagnosis and my art with other people living with HIV, that they can accept their own diagnosis and not feel that they're being punished. I call it making a positive a positive. I would love to work with children living with HIV and help them learn about art and how to express themselves creatively as well. I don't necessarily think it would be a career, but it could definitely turn into that. Again, I've never been formally trained as an artist, but then again, I'm having my own gallery show. So I do have a gallery opening coming very soon. It'll start on November 18th at the Center on Halsted in Boys Town, and it'll actually run through January 3rd. Some of my friends talked to the gentleman in charge of arranging the shows and told him that he really needed to check out my pieces. I'm very excited about my own gallery opening. It's something I've always wanted to happen, but I've just never had the resources to make it happen, or even enough pieces, I guess, to make a collection. But now I do. I think it's really interesting that my gallery opening is 3 days after the 6-year anniversary of my diagnosis as being HIV positive. I am selling my work at the show. I think almost every piece will be for sale. There will be a few pieces that are owned by other people because I've sold probably about 8 of my pieces already. So some of those will be actually borrowed from the owners to be on display with the ones that are for sale as well. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share my story and to show my art.